plus 1. We plugged it into the original equation. And now it gets fun.
So fun.
Alright, so if I raise something to the third, it's every single part raised to that third. So what's 3 to the third? 9. 27.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Okay? 3 times 3 is 9, and then times 3 is 27.
No.
Divided by 4 to the third,
4,
64. Gotta know our perfect cubes, at least up to 5. Do you know? 1 cube? 1, 2 cube? 8, 3 cube? 27, 4 cube? 64, 5 cube? 125. That's good enough, okay? Yeah? If you know up to 6 cube, that's plus. And anyways, this is good enough for now. And then x squared to the third, what do we do when we have a power to a power? Multiply the power. Allah, multiply to the 6th power. Equals. Okay, when I multiply 4 and 3/4, what happens to the 4s? Cancel, so we get 3x times x squared, x cubed. Allah, now how do I do this? Vector. You give up? Let's try moving everything to one side. Let's make it equal to 0, okay? So I'm going to minus this 3x cubed, and I'm going to minus this 1. So I'm going to end up with 27 over 64 x to the 6, right? Minus 2x cubed minus 1 equal to 0. I want to make it equal to 0 because once it's equal to 0, it's like if it were equal to y. Okay? And then I can use my calculator, since it is a calculator problem, to solve and to find out when this equation is equal to 0. So how do you guys want to figure this out? N solve? Okay.
I don't know how to.
You go ahead and use N solve. I'm not going to use N solve.
Okay.
And I'll show you why in a little bit.
Never mind.
I'm going to do this using a graph. Okay, since it's equal to 0. You can use N solve if you want, but you're going to discover that there's a problem.
Oh, I'm gonna do it. I can choose one.
Because there may be more than one. We don't know, right? So if I graph this, I'm trying to find out where that function is equal to 0, right? So that would be where it what?
Crosses the x-axis.
Where it crosses the x-axis, right? So how many times does it cross the x-axis? If I zoom in. It crosses twice. It crosses right there and right there. Maybe you were looking at the y-axis. I get them confused all the time, but usually the one with the x has an x. Cool? Alright. So it crosses it 2 times. So that means it has 2 real solutions. Okay, this problem could have a maximum of 6 solutions. Okay, but maybe all 6 are not real. In this case, only how many of them were real?
2,
2. How many of them were imaginary?
4.
4. Okay, so it does have 6 solutions, except that 2 are real and 4 are imaginary. Cool? Alright, so how would I find out those 2 values? That's a skill you must have for the AP test. Menu. You could do analyze graph, but that's a little complicated. I would just use trace and move along, and this wonderful calculator has the feature to where it actually highlights it for you and tells you what it is. Oh my god, 0! I can't pass the start test. X equals? What would it be? Negative 0.769 8? Would that be a good place to stop? Let's say I don't know how to round to the 3rd decimal, right? Because I was like, that one's a 9, it's going to become a what? A 10, but I don't know how to put a 10 there. Okay, so let me go to this one, because this one all I have to do is make it an 8. Can I do that and still be okay? Yes, as long as you round to a minimum of how many decimals?
3.
3, okay? You can round to 6 if you want to, but it has to be a minimum of 3. Remember that for your test. Some of you are not doing that. I'm going to start marking them wrong, okay?
What if you would have like changed it like to 770?
If you would have put 770, then that would have been okay. Would that have been correct? 770?
But it would have been kind of off though.
Yeah?
But it's,
Yeah?
because you're technically just adding 1.
Okay, we're just adding 1. You're right. Okay, cool.
Okay, I'm not going nervous.
Don't get nervous.
When you said I can't round it like with 10, I was like, wait, how do you do that?
Yes. Yes. What's the other one going to be? 1.732. Okay. That one we could round to 3 and not have a problem with. Are we good? Was that easy? It wasn't too bad, right? Could I have typed it in the way I have it up here? Just like move this over and minus the 1 and then just put all of that, whatever it was, equal to 0? And then just do it like that? Yeah, it should give me the same graph and it should give me the same answers, right? So, you do whatever it is you think you need to do. Could I have made a mistake somewhere here in my simplifying of this? Yes. Okay, but I shouldn't make a mistake typing that into my calculator if I need to. Okay? I could have also just put this in one of the y equals, and then this in another one of the y equals, and then find where those two what? Intersect. I've also done that, instead of making it equal to 0 and looking for the x-intercept. There's a lot of different ways of getting the answer when you have the calculator. Alright, and the last one, okay, because we're kind of running out of time. So, this one says, in terms of y, what does that mean? Well, let's keep reading and then maybe you can answer. So, in terms of y, describe the values of x for which this curve will have a vertical tangent line. So, x equals some expression that is in terms of y. Okay, so I don't have to find out like x equals 5. I don't need to know the actual values. I just need to know the expression that x is equal to. Oh, cool. That makes our life so much easier. When would I have a vertical tangent line?
Denominator equals 0.
When the derivative is undefined, and our derivative is what? 4y minus 3x squared over 3y squared minus 4x. This is going to be undefined when what part of it is equal to 0? The denominator, right? Okay, so ultimately to solve this, I need to get 3y squared minus 4x and equal it to 0. And I need to make that what? X equals or y equals? X equals. Why x equals? In terms of y, I want something that describes the values of what? X. I want you to tell me what x equals. But in terms of what? Y. Meaning I don't want the actual values, I just want the equation. Okay, so I need to make it x equals. So negative 4x equals negative 3y squared. Divide by negative 4. So x in terms of y is 3 over 4 y squared. And that would be my answer. I could stop there. If I wanted the actual values, then I would have to do everything that I did in the previous problem, right? You want to do that? Just like for fun?
No.
No, are you sure? Positive? I really wanted to do it, but if you don't want to, we'll skip it. Are we good? Alright. Okay. So that's last question. Does it look familiar? Yes. Where was this question on? It was on your homework, right? Okay. So part A, you should have already done it. right? And hopefully it ended up being that. Yeah, if it didn't, well then you did something wrong, so we need to look at it. But I'm not gonna do part A, but let's look at part B. Okay, so part B says find all the points on the curve whose coordinate is 1. So how can I do that? Because that's the first thing they want me to do. If I want the coordinate, if I want the points, I mean, I need an X and a Y. What is it that they're giving me? They're giving me an X, so how can I find the Y's? Plug it in, okay? So if I plug it in, what do I get? 1y squared, right? Minus 1 cubed y equals 6. So that'll give me y squared minus y equals 6. How do I solve that? Take out a y? You could. I would minus 6. Make it equal to 0 first. And now I can solve this quadratic problem from Algebra 1 by factoring, right? Oh my god, look at how nice they are on the AP test regarding factoring. This is an actual question from the AP test. They didn't even put a number in front of the A term, right? They didn't put a number there, just made it a 1. So this would be y what? Minus 3, y plus 2. So what are my actual values? Okay, those aren't my points, I need to find the points. What would the 2 points be? So 1 comma 3, 1 comma negative 2. Alright, so we did the first part. Then it says, write an equation for the tangent line at each of these points. So that means I need the point of tangency, which is 1, 3. And I need the slope of the tangent line at that point 1, 3. What's going to give me the slope of the tangent line at 1, 3? Plug in the points into the derivative. Oh my god, they gave me the derivative. So let's say I couldn't even do part A. Could I still do part B? Oh, how nice. Because they gave me the answer to part A. Right? So let's do it. So this will be 3 times 1 squared times 3 minus 3 squared over 2 times 1 times 3 minus 1 squared. So 1 squared is 1, right? Times 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 squared? 9. 9 minus 9? 0. So what is the answer to a fraction if the top is 0? 0. I'm not even going to mess with the bottom. Okay? I'm going to get 0 over a number, it's going to be 0. Good? Can we write the equation for that guy? Let's do it. Diagonally. Y minus 3 equals 0 times x minus 1. Yes? Which would ultimately just become what? Okay, if it bothers you, I'll write it like that. Would this still be considered okay? On a free response? Yes, you still get points. What if you would have put y equals negative 3? Then you would have lost the credit right there. Right? So you want to be careful. You don't want to make mistakes. What's the second point of tangency? 1, negative 2. So now I need the slope at that point. Okay? Don't assume that it's the same as the other one. So we have to check that one also using the derivative. So 3 times 1 squared times negative 2 minus negative 2 squared over 2 times 1 times negative 2 minus 1 squared. Cube? Oh, I didn't cube it over here. It's okay, it didn't make a difference. Okay, you didn't tell me. Alright, so 1 squared is 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times negative 2? Negative 6. Negative 2 squared? 4 becomes minus 4. So we've got negative 6 minus 4. Negative 10. Okay, at the bottom, 2 times negative 2? Negative 4. 1 to the third is 1, so negative 4 minus 1. Negative 5, which equals? Positive 2. Okay, don't make that careless mistake. What's the equation of this guy?
Oh, that's 10.
Yes, that's a 10.
I was like, co?
Yes,
Cosine.
that's my
Negative
son's
code.
middle
Co.
name.
You
Uh-huh.
have a son?
Yeah,
I thought you had a daughter.
yeah, I adopted it. So this will be y plus 2 equals 2 times x minus.
This just times do you actually have a son?
I have a son, yes, his name is Arnoldo Cosines.
You should don't do that!
Awesome.
Please make your child co.
Well, the middle.
So they can be cosine. No, they feel like that's the first name. So when they're like cosine.
Would that
Cosines?
clean
Of what angle, ma'am?
would that clean inside?
I would
But I never
please
will.
do
We still
that.
have a lot of time, no?
No.
We
We
have
got 4 minutes?
No.
We can do part C?
Ah.
Are you sure?
What's our homework? We'll do
We'll do
tomorrow.
part C tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay,
I'll come extra early.
let me give you your assignment.
I know.
So continue working on the other assignment plus this one if you haven't finished.
My class is like done a long.
I don't like what
We're so out of it, right? It's the cosine. I don't know what got me sick. I was fine the whole holiday.
I